camouflage, masquerade as something that I'm not, right? How's that different than a trans person?
Race and gender are two completely separate things. They have
The truth ain't
nothing
separate.
to do with each other, and the existence of being transgender does not imply the existence of being transracial.
So you can pretend to say that you have ovaries when you don't, but you can't put makeup on to pretend to be a black person.
What transgender women are claiming to have ovaries?
There's lots of men that pretend to have ovaries. In fact, the CDC guidance says right now that men can chest feed. Do you think men can chest feed?
No. Oh my.
That's not the sole criterion for being.
So let me ask you a question. What is a woman?
A woman is someone who identifies as one.
Answer the question without saying the word
No.
woman. You can't say the word woman. That's called circular reasoning. It's like saying a tree is something that looks like a tree. So I'll ask again, what is a woman?
A woman is a person who lives a lifestyle aligned with feminine characteristics, not necessarily your chromosomes.
What are you doing?
So someone who just wears a dress. So what you are doing is you are reducing womanhood to a costume.
No. So, are you suggesting that, like, a transgender woman goes about her day pretending to be a woman, but then when she gets home, she starts acting like a man?
No, delusional in every part of life. I understand that, but that doesn't mean they're not delusional. There's a series of mental conditions where you could pretend to be a wolf. Can you be trans species too? Does your own mental condition dictate external reality? Yes or no?
Not necessarily.
Okay, then why do you believe that a biological man can become something that he is not? Because he thinks it.
Because gender is not interchangeable with sex.
Yeah, right. So there are 0 genders. There are only 2 sexes. Gender is a made-up term that started in the academy in the 1960s. Talking about sex, which is the only thing that actually can be proven and that matters, XXXY, I will ask the question again. Why is it that a man can suddenly become a dress and can be treated exactly the same as a woman that is biologically, not just biologically different, but somebody has a different brain, a different hormonal system, menstruate, have children? I'll be very honest with you. It is so unbelievably insulting to women.
Let me be clear from the start. I am very big on human rights. I don't think that anybody, regardless of what they claim to be, should be treated unfairly when it comes to jobs, when it comes to voting, when it comes to, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Everybody should be treated equally. I believe in equality, in the equal treatment and equal opportunity. Let's be clear about that. But what I find disturbing is that the very people who are claiming that they are fighting for equality are actually taking away someone else's equality. If you were a man and you want to now live your life as a woman, why do you care if everybody else recognizes you as a woman? The only person you should care about recognizing you as a woman is you. What does the world's recognition matters? Does you saying that you're a woman, and if you go through the process and get your body changed, which you can only do aesthetically, you cannot do it DNA-wise, down to the cell level. If you desire to be addressed a certain way, to wear certain clothes, go do you. Who cares? Be you, do you. Long as nobody's not trying to kill you, nobody's trying to take away your opportunity to work, your opportunity to grow, to be happy, I'm good. Be you. My problem is, why are you trying to force it on everybody else? Why are you trying to force it on the general public? Now, when there's an individual who is associated with me, or a family member, or a friend, or whatever, and they want to be addressed a certain way, I do my best to address them in the way that they want it to be addressed. I'm not going to get it right all the time, but I do my best to do so, because it's what they desire, and that's part of the relationship that I have with them. If I don't want to do it and it's a big enough issue, then we just won't have that relationship. But that's my right to not have that relationship because I have that choice. But when you try to invade the space of naturally born women who are genetically born as women, who have the genetic difference between a man and a woman, why are you trampling on their rights? Why are you trampling on their freedom? Why are you trampling on their ability to excel in whatever level they desire to excel in? Y'all know I'm a big sports proponent. And that is where one of my biggest grievances comes about. Go get the doctor, do whatever you want to do. I could care less. But when you try to come in there and you take all the world records that are held by women for women who are biological, and you know that your body is actually still male, your center of gravity is male, your muscle build is male, everything about you is male. And just because you couldn't cut it with the men, now you want to go down here and destroy the women's achievements? You know, when we're talking about on these small levels, you playing for your little local softball teams or whatever, I can care less about that. What I'm talking about is the women who don't get a chance to go to the Olympics because of a dude who's now claiming he's a woman, and he couldn't make it as a male. He couldn't make the men's swim team. He couldn't win at the men's level. Now he want to go win at the women's level, and he's taking away some other woman's opportunity. He couldn't win in fighting and MMA fighting at the male level, so now he want to go in here and fight against these women. Any other situation where a man is beating on a woman, women would lose their shit. But women, why are y'all supporting this? The biggest supporters of this situation is women. Why are y'all supporting someone who's taking away your rights, your opportunities? Because this is not women's liberation movement. This is not part of that. This is the trans movement. Let the trans movement do the trans movement. And whatever they want to fight for, let them fight for it. But when they're fighting against you, why are you still fighting for them? This makes no sense to me. This would be like me going and fighting against the black people who are trying to help gain freedom and opportunity for black people. Why would I do that? It's against my own benefit to do that. But yet that's what we have. We have all these women fighting for on this side. And now we got all these college kids who, and it's a known thing. The younger generation are always more adaptable to new thought processes. I was when I was a kid. These guys are now. And they're going to adapt to those things because it's more common for them because they grew up with it, where I grew up with something totally different. This wasn't an issue when I was growing up. This wasn't an issue when I was a young adult. This has only recently become an issue. So, of course, the 20-year-olds now, those are the ones who are closer to it and identify more with it. But I believe that a lot of them are misguided in their support of it. You know, this is one of my daughters. We have this conversation quite often. But the beauty that I love about her is that she knows what parts should be supported and what parts shouldn't. Women getting into these trans women getting into women's sports, she does not support that. Them having the rights to be called whatever they want to be called, she supports that. That makes sense. The other side makes no sense to me at all. And gender is a man-made creation. Sex is just finite. It's an absolute. There's nothing to make up about it. You're either male, female. And then we have the situations of being, what's it called? Where you have both the male and the female sexual organs. We know that that is an abnormality that happens. That is not a normal thing. That it's a rarity for someone to be born with both. But on the norm, most creatures on the planet are either male or female. Now, behavior, you can behave and act however you want to. You could dress however you want to. That's whatever. But stop claiming that you can breastfeed. You can have a baby. If a woman converts over to be a man, but she still has the internal organs of a woman and the sexual organs of a woman, and she gets pregnant, that's a woman that got pregnant. That's not or you can say a trans man that got pregnant, but it's not a man that got pregnant. And therefore now men can get pregnant. Because I am a man, I cannot get pregnant ever. You understand? So you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.